She took a deep breath, stealing a glance at her husband, silently urging him to stay strong. "Just a few minutes," she mouthed, forcing a calm demeanor she didn't truly feel. The judge's commendation of their parenting echoed through the room, sparking a flicker of hope. They had to win. Their son had to stay. But then, a disruption in their meticulously laid-out plan. Their son spoke, his words shattering their hopeful illusion. This wasn't how it was supposed to unfold. A knot of worry tightened in her stomach. She had addressed every concern, prepared for every question. Yet, the two women at the back of the courtroom, their faces marked with self-righteous disapproval, threw everything into disarray. 2 years of neighborly pleasantries apparently granted them the right to dismantle their entire life. Kelly and Jordan Baker, a couple blessed with material comfort, yearned to share their fortune with a child. Foster care seemed the perfect path. Everything appeared idyllic on the surface, but a hidden battle raged beneath. A visit to a specialist, fueled by their struggle to conceive, revealed the harsh truth: Jordan couldn't father a child. Further tests confirmed a physical barrier for Kelly as well. The diagnosis shattered them. The doctor, unaware of the emotional storm he'd brewed, presented adoption as a potential solution. Initially clinging to this hope, Kelly and Jordan began searching for an adoptable child. However, fate had a different plan. A visit to a Jacksonville foster home sparked a shift. Meeting the children there, a new possibility bloomed. Fostering, their hearts overflowing with compassion, they embarked on a journey of opening their home to children in need. Forever changed by the experience, unbeknownst to the Bakers, a storm was brewing next door. Their well-meaning facade of a happy foster home couldn't fool Julia, their new neighbor who worked from home. One disturbing incident shattered the illusion of normalcy. Initially, Julia and her wife Travis intended a kind conversation with Kelly to address their concerns. They never envisioned courtroom battles. Their son Austin deepened their worry. He befriended a Baker foster child, a kind and studious 13-year-old named Dason. Austin mentioned the Bakers' plan to adopt Dason, which alarmed Julia after her unsettling experience. Dason, a friendly soul who motivated Austin in school, had charmed Julia and Travis. They admired his manners and wondered who instilled such values. Kelly, initially warm and funny, mirrored those qualities. Jordan, with his army stories and corporate background, added to the idyllic picture. But beneath the surface, a darkness lurked, a truth Julia and Travis were determined to expose. The tension in the courtroom hung thick as Julia and Travis sat opposite the Bakers. 2 months of hearings led to this moment, the final hurdle before the judge decided Dason's fate. Their fierce opposition stemmed from a chilling reality they alone seemed to witness. But would their concerns hold any weight in the face of a seemingly loving couple? Do we have concrete proof? Julia fretted, the weight of responsibility crushing her. That haunting incident, etched in her memory, lacked the irrefutable evidence she craved. Dason, once a bright spark in foster care, a place offering escape, now faced a potential future trapped with the Bakers. Julia's initial optimism had morphed into bitter acceptance. This wouldn't be a clean resolution. As the judge called her name for the final testimony, Julia rose, her gaze flickering to Dason, his posture betraying a flicker of fear beside the Bakers. Taking a deep breath, she marched towards the stand, her voice firm. "Your Honor," she began, "with all due respect, I implore you to deny the adoption. Kelly and Jordan are unfit parents. They pose a danger to Dason and, frankly, any child. The law must hold them accountable for their actions." Her voice resolute, promised to fight. "I wouldn't let this happen to my own son," she declared, her eyes locking with Travis's in silent solidarity. The thought of this court handing Dason, such a good boy, over to them is unbearable. Julia was known for her blunt honesty, never shying away from the truth. The truth Travis had witnessed one fateful Friday night. Their bedroom's vantage point revealed a horrified scene unfolding at the Bakers' house. The facade crumbled, and Julia's concerns morphed into a terrifying reality. Dason, trapped in that house, desperately needed a way out. Across the courtroom, Dason sat stoic, his young heart heavy with the burden of his experiences. Kelly and Jordan's threats echoed in his mind, a constant reminder of the consequences of speaking up. But the weight of their abuse grew heavier with each passing day. How long could he remain silent? Just as the gavel seemed poised to fall, a tremor ran through Dason. He couldn't stay silent. Voice trembling, he rose, eyes darting between the judge and the Bakers. "Your Honor," he blurted, the courtroom falling into a dead hush. I need to speak." Dason stood, a small figure in a big room, fear a palpable aura around him. He took a shuddering breath, tears welled in his eyes. The judge's gaze, previously resolute, flickered with concern. Dason, his voice thick with emotion, poured out the truth, the torment, the neglect, the chilling threats that had held him captive for so long. The courtroom listened, the horrific details stripping away the Bakers' facade, leaving only a chilling reality. Dason's brave confession shattered the courtroom's tense quiet. The judge, visibly shaken, immediately halted the adoption and ordered a full investigation. Dason, finally freed from the Bakers' threats, was placed in protective foster care. The following weeks were a blur of activity. Social workers, therapists, and investigators swarmed the case, interviewing Dason, past foster children, and anyone else with a sliver of information. A horrifying tale unfolded, a web of abuse and manipulation woven by the Bakers. Justice, though delayed, arrived swiftly. Kelly and Jordan were arrested, facing a multitude of charges. Their carefully constructed facade crumbled before the weight of Dason's truth. In the end, the court found them guilty, sentencing them to lengthy prison terms. There would be no happy ending for the Bakers, only the bitter taste of consequence. Dason's long ordeal finally came to an end. Placed with a loving, supportive family, he began to heal. Years of fear and isolation slowly faded as he thrived in his new environment, forming friendships and excelling in school. His story became a symbol of hope, showcasing the resilience of the human spirit. Julia and Travis, profoundly transformed by their journey, emerged as unexpected champions. Their unwavering determination not only rescued Dason, but also exposed flaws in a system desperately in need of reform. The judge, once misled by the Bakers' facade, pledged to enforce stricter vetting procedures for foster parents. Dason's case sparked significant reforms, underscoring the critical need for vigilance and advocacy on behalf of society's most vulnerable.